This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Adesuwa Osuyi, and this is Africa Now. We begin with politics. Benin's Electoral Commission has declared President Patrice Talon winner of the country's presidential election with 86% of the vote. This is according to provisional results announced Tuesday evening. The Beninese Constitutional Court is expected to announce the final result of the election later after verification of the figures. Genevieve Bokunajo, Vice President of the Autonomous National Electoral Commission, SENA, said the turnout was 50.17%. The election could not be held in 13 of the country's 546 districts because of security problems in some areas and the country's northern and central regions. Patrice Talon, a wealthy businessman who made his fortune in cotton, has been accused of taking Benin in an authoritarian direction and of having no opposition in parliament, the Constitutional Court, or in the communes, almost all of which have been won by the ruling party. Somali President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo has officially signed a controversial law of the Special Electoral Law for federal election, extending his term by 2 years, the state news agency reported. This follows the parliament's approval of a motion to extend the term over the dispute that has caused a delay in conducting an election. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Minister of Information, Osman Dobe, late on Tuesday night. President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed's 4-year term expired in February without a successor. The new head of state was meant to be chosen by a new crop of legislators, but their own selection was delayed after opponents accused the president of packing regional and national election boards with his own supporters. The United States has expressed its disappointment over the extension. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, in a statement, said the decision by Somalia will compel the United States to reevaluate their bilateral relations with the federal government of Somalia, to include diplomatic engagement and assistance, and to consider all available tools, including sanctions and visa restrictions. To judicial matters in connection to the 1987 murder of Thomas Sankara, a military court in Burkina Faso's capital has indicted former President Blaise Compaoré. Compaoré, who has been in exile in neighboring Ivory Coast since 2014, has always denied involvement in Sankara's assassination. He will be tried in absentia. A statement issued by the court on Tuesday cited complicity in assassination and an attack on state security by Compaoré, who ruled the country until 2014 when he was forced to resign in the face of mass demonstrations against an attempt to extend his 27-year rule. Sankara, regarded as a national hero, became leader in 1983 following a struggle after a coup, but was killed aged 37 along with 12 other government officials during a coup led by Compaoré in 1987. At age 33, he became one of the youngest African leaders in history. The date for the trial has not been chosen, but Sankara's lawyers said it could begin soon. Former South African President Jacob Zuma has up to Wednesday to suggest the penalty the country's highest court should impose if he were to be found guilty of the contempt he is charged with. The penalty relates to his ignoring of summons to appear before the Commission of Inquiry chaired by Justice Ray Zondo to answer corruption allegation, which he denies. In last month's hearing, the Commission asked the court to sentence the former president for 2 years to stamp the authority of the court and show the seriousness of Mr. Zuma's actions. The court, however, withheld judgment in the case. Meanwhile, an appeals court on Tuesday upheld an earlier judgment for the state to recover money that had been spent on the former president's legal fees. He said the state funding in the corruption case was unlawful, unconstitutional, and invalid. It is estimated that the state paid between $1 million and $2.2 million in legal costs for him. According to local media on Wednesday, at least 20 students were killed on Tuesday in a fire that ravaged a school. The fire trapped them in straw hut classrooms in a poor neighborhood, in southeastern outskirts of Niamey, Niger's capital. 20 classes in straw huts were consumed by the fire, and unfortunately, 20 children were killed. The head of the firefighters told the country's national broadcaster. He said the origin of the fire was unknown. The Secretary General of the National Trade Union of Contractual Agents and Civil Servants in Basic Education, Halido Mokalia, said the fire destroyed 25 out of 38 classrooms in the school. An official of a Niger's teachers union said the school had around 800 students, including children in the nursery school. The country's Prime Minister, Omadu Mohamadu, visited the school and sent the government's condolences to the families of the deceased children. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now, business and sports. After the break, do stay tuned. On COVID-19 development, South Africa, the worst-hit African country with the coronavirus pandemic on Tuesday, announced the suspension of the use of Johnson & Johnson vaccine shots as a precautionary measure following the United States Food and Drug Administration decision to pause using the jabs while blood clot cases are examined. Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize said South Africa was halting the use of J&J's jab out of an abundance of caution, and he expects that the questions over the J&J vaccine should be cleared within a matter of days. Speaking to reporters, he said the country has given more than 289,000 jabs of the J&J vaccine to the country's health workers without any report of blood clots. Zweli Mkhize, during a virtual meeting with the parliamentary committee on Wednesday, said the country's vaccine deals with Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer have non-refundability clauses, meaning that down payment will not be returned under any circumstances. He added that South Africa was paying $10 per dose for the Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer vaccines. In business, Egypt is demanding $900 million in compensation for the Ever Given cargo ship, which has been seized, that caused the blockade of the Suez Canal towards the end of March. Traffic on the canal resumed on March 29. On Monday evening, the head of the Suez Canal Authority, SCA, had reported on public television negotiations to obtain compensation for the damage suffered when Ever Given was stuck near a week across the canal, crippling traffic on this crucial seaway. According to the SCA, Egypt lost between $12 million and $15 million per day the canal was closed. According to insurer Allianz, each day of downtime resulted in overall losses of $6 to $10 billion. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni on Tuesday said that talks are needed to prevent irregularities in trade among member states of the East African Community, EAC. He made the remarks in a meeting while visiting Kenya delegation for discussion on bilateral trade. According to a statement from the Ugandan State House, the meeting was held as a result of Kenya's ban on the importation of maize and dairy products from Uganda. The Kenyan delegation was led by Betty Maina, Kenya's Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, who said that importation of Ugandan maize was banned as a result of toxins and moisture content found in the grain. The essence of competition consists in a common market, and any business that breaks the rules should cease to exist, Museveni told the meeting, adding that trade irregularities between the two countries be eliminated. And in sports, Cameroon's women's football team, known as the Indomitable Lionesses, have missed out on the final place at the Tokyo Olympics women's football tournament after they lost 2-1 on aggregate to Chile. The result means that Zambia will be Africa's only representatives in the women's football tournament in Tokyo, as the She Polo Polo made their debut at a global event. The second leg of the Olympic playoff ended goalless on Tuesday, meaning the South American side clinched a place in Tokyo thanks to their 2-1 win on Saturday. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, both matches were played in Turkey rather than on the planned home and away bases. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Also follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us to enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. My name is Adesuwa Osuyi. Thank you for watching.